Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Well, I have an apology to make to Shladi Mutsuning. And Shladi, I want to apologize for suggesting that Minister Cele is the Shladi Mutsuning of the Ramaphosa ANC ministry. And I'll explain to you what I'm talking about, Shladi. Shladi, I know that you are challenged when it comes to your abilities, when it comes to intellect, but at least you have an intellect. And why I'm apologizing is because Minister Cele doesn't. He's completely, I really think he's got an IQ that is way below 30. I reckon that's been very generous. You look at the guy, he walks around like a duck, he looks like a duck, he quacks like a duck when he talks, so, yeah. He's a ducking failure. Get it? Now, not only is he a failure, but Minister Cele is a racist. And you can see how the police service has become very, very prejudicial towards the minority groups. And in this case, we're talking about the Indian community. And we're talking about the Indian community who stood their ground when it came to these looters wanting to loot suburbs like Phoenix. This is how Minister Cele is responding to the Indians in Durban. More than 150 firearms have been seized for ballistic testing from private security companies being investigated for their alleged role in the killing of people in Phoenix during the civil unrest in July. This was revealed by Minister of Police Minister Cele on Sunday during a visit to Phoenix. Bambayi, Amshloti, and Zweliša, where he gave an update on investigations into the murders of 36 people in Phoenix during the unrest. Cele said, "You also revealed that there were private security companies that were leading the charge in the abuse and murders of people. These companies are being investigated. There are 7 of them being investigated, and 3 were leading the charge. The 3 companies are Reaction Unit, VIP Security, and others." Okay, get that? The 3 private security companies were Reaction Unit, VIP Security, and others. Plural, others. That's not 3, Becke. I think even Zuma could work that one out. But anyway, let's continue. Cele continued. The firearms which belong to the companies that have been investigated were taken for testing to see what crimes they were involved in. Their work should be within the law, and if they are being used for the wrong things, we test them. The owners of these companies should be arrested if they broke the law, and the companies must be closed. Now, just so that people out there, especially overseas, understand the background to what happened in Durban last month. It was actually the private security companies that went and protected the police stations in the Durban area because the police ran away. Yeah, and now they're focusing on these same private security companies. And the other important thing I would say is that over 300 people died during this looting and rioting session that went on in KwaZulu-Natal. Here you've got less than 10% of the people who died in Phoenix, where apparently they shouldn't have been. And of course, with everything that was going on, you can understand why people were trigger happy. But the point I'm making is that you never hear about the other 300 people who died during the looting and rioting, do you? Because that was probably black on black violence. This is why I say, in Phoenix you have largely an Indian community who were probably defending their properties, and they are getting singled out not just by the Celes. We're going to call it the Celes of the world. Okay, those who have a real subpar intellect, or they don't have an intellect. Okay, singled out by the Celes of the world. Meanwhile, that larger percentage, over 300, are totally ignored by the government and by the mainstream media in South Africa. I'm going to show you a little video clip related to this. Here we go.
Siyathula uzuhambe uyokhala etoilet ngoba ufela omunye umuntu omnyama. Isaningi into efanele ifakwe amehlo when it comes to racism. Ngicela imndeni eaffectekile inikezwe i-counseling. Ngiyabonga.
Okay, what you saw there was an African lady addressing Cele. He was a guy with a mafia hat and the black suit and the big paunch. Okay, that's Cele, the Minister of Police. And he was engaging with the community at Swalisha. And this resident was telling Cele that families of those who lost their loved ones in Phoenix should get counseling. Well, of course, the South African ANC government don't have enough money to put together a barbecue for 50 people, so I don't know how they're going to fix that. Anyway, Cele said 36 people had been arrested to date for 33 murders in Phoenix. He went on to say, what's unfortunate is that the victims are African, and most of those arrested are Indians. These are the things we need to fix moving forward. 36 and counting is the number of investigations which are still ongoing. Now, what needs to be investigated is who coordinated the looting and rioting that caused all this shit. But of course, because it involves the ANC, it's been kind of glossed over, not just by Cele and the ANC hierarchy, but also the bought and paid for mainstream media in South Africa, also known as the fake news. Anyway, let's continue. Following the murders, a team of 12 provincial and national investigators was set up. Cele said the team had been expanded to 31 members. He said police watchdog IPID was investigating allegations by communities that people were not doing their jobs at their local stations. Well, good luck with that one. I go back to that farmer at Scottborough. Remember that story we did, the live stream we did? The guy who was beaten up by 20 police, organized by the Umgeni police station commander. And IPID have been investigating this now for over a year, and nothing has been done. So don't hold your breath when Cele says that IPID are going to get involved to find out why the police were not doing their jobs at their local stations. Well, I can tell you the simple answer for that. They were busy out there looting like the rest of the African community who came into the areas where the warehouses were, and with their four-wheel drives, and put fridges on the back of their trucks and stuff like that. You know, this is shopping, African style. Everything for free. Anyway, Cele said, you had also complained that police at certain stations were doing things they were not supposed to be doing. IPID is continuing with investigations. We are investigating everyone that is being complained about, whether it's our people, you, or people from Phoenix, he said. Now, our people. Let's remember that these police are paid for by the taxpayers. So it's not our people, it's the community's people. It's like he is running a business and these are his employees. He has no understanding of how government works. But that's not surprising when you've got an IQ south of 30. Let's continue. Cele said that 130 illegal firearms had also been found during a raid in Phoenix. Meanwhile, Glenn Naidu from KZN VIP Security said they handed in their firearms to police voluntarily to clear the company's name and weren't aware of any investigations. Well, you see how Cele twists everything around? Naidu said, "It's shocking because we know of no allegations against our company. We can confidently say that no live rounds were ever used by KZN VIP before, during and after the unrest. We are a professional company and we do know that a lot of rubber rounds were fired. So if people have been injured with rubber rounds, then they can investigate." Well, I'm not surprised, because Minister Cele had no idea that all this was fomenting and going to take place, even though it was all over WhatsApp. And I put up a video about that with a PDF with all the WhatsApp messages of those who are clearly involved in instigating the looting that happened last month. But of course, none of those people, even though their phone numbers are actually out there on the WhatsApp, have been investigated or charged or anything else. No, they're just going after the Indians at Phoenix. That tells you something, doesn't it? And of course, that the media are buying into this just says it all. Please remember to subscribe to Loving Life on YouTube. Please remember to register on lovinglifetv.com, the platform we are transitioning to. Please like this video, please share this video, and above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.